Hello and welcome back to thermal expansion. I kind of left things how they were from last time, with the exception I've just ramped up all the power, and now so everything's going to be back on full power. I just wanted to show a bit there at the end last time. The first time we're going to look at today is going to be the sawmill. Now, one good way to do this is simply to click L on the inventory screen, and we can just see the recipe list. It's a little bit easier sometimes to do this. And we can see basically that we're going to get to a situation where a block of wood is going to create 6 planks, and we're also going to get sawdust. And I believe, and also you can see some sort of handcrafting stuff here with the music box, with a boat, similarly with the crafting table, and door will get us 6 there. Rubber wood, interestingly, is actually going to get us a ball of glue. So that's another recipe to take into account there. And there's, I believe, the sawmill really is, apart from some uncrafting stuff, is mainly focused on creating more planks than the standard, and some uncrafting stuff. And that's basically about it. So we can look at sawdust as well. We can see that if we put 8 of them in a square like that, we're going to get compressed sawdust, and then if we smelt the sawdust, we're going to get charcoal. Yeah. So that's the sawmill, and yeah, I don't see why we could just put a stack of wood in there. And actually, we should. Yeah, I'll just put in a stack of actual wood here, and we can set our. We'll just get rid of all the stuff. So we'll make the output side. You see, this is why we need to turn them all off, because otherwise you see they get a bit of a glitch. So the best way is just to turn everything off, and then we can just. Go to orange on the left hand side, put a chest down like that, and then just put another leadstone energy conduit, and then get everything filling up, and we're going to get all our planks and the sawdust in there, ready for to make charcoal, I guess. So yeah. Okay, so this is the next block, the Glacial precipitator. One thing I could do here is I could put the aqueous accumulator down underneath. So let's do that. Get rid of this sawdust. So I'll put the aqueous accumulator down like this. I'll go down here actually. So I can put that down there. Okay, we can have it output some of the water up, which it's already doing. So we're going to want to receive from the bottom here. There we go. Alright, so give it some power. Actually, I probably could just, I think I can just use one as well. So you can see, yeah, it's not going to make too much difference in this situation. We don't have to actually see the water here. So once again, I'll just get rid of everything. You can see we're getting snowballs here, automatically getting snowballs. So if I wanted to, say, drop some of this stuff in the chest, should get the snowballs output into the chest like that. Also get ice as well. Let's see what happens here. So it's not filling up with any more water. I'm curious about why that might be. It might just be waiting for this to finish. Maybe the aqueous accumulator, yeah, it doesn't seem to have any. And I guess if I put this back on, it will happily continue there. Yeah. So it really does need those 2 source blocks. One thing I could do actually, which is this is possibly work here. No. Is there not a stone? So could possibly do this. No, it doesn't work if there's water there, unfortunately. Okay. Well, so I guess that's it anyway. That's how you're going to create. So, and you can see we'll get loads of ice there as well. So there's the glacial precipitator. Okay, so the next block we're going to look at is the fluid transposer. I've done some kind of I put 2 more source blocks with the aqueous accumulator. I have to keep looking at the exactly how that is, and you can see the water has filled up here. So what we need to do then, I suppose, is we could use this chest again. We've already got the water, so what we could do is actually just get a bucket, maybe, and yeah, we'll put some buckets in this chest. And I wonder if it's actually going to be able to pull the buckets out of that chest. So we're going to want the right hand side to be blue, I think. And then the left hand side we can be our output. So I wonder if I can get that to work. Now sometimes you need to put it on yellow to actually get it to go in. But then again, yeah, this is the problem. You actually have to use, you can actually do it directly in the interface as well. Not those. Well, they're certainly outputting to the chest here. Okay, so at the moment this is blue. Let me just see if I make it to yellow. Is that going to still increase? Because this is probably the way I'd want it. Problem is, it's not automatically pulling the. Let me just see if it will automatically pull the buckets in this situation. Doesn't look like it. So one possible other way that I could do this is I could use the hopper situation here. So maybe something like this. Try and get these buckets in. Yeah, so that's a good solution, I think. Put the empty buckets in there. And then if need be, we can just yeah, you can see there's a lot of stuff with the fluid transposer, but I'm not going to get into that now. So yeah, that's a sort of basic guide to fluid transposer. Okay, and while we're talking about liquids, here's another liquid, the Igneous Extruder, another machine that deals with liquid, the Igneous Extruder. As you can see, I've put a portable tank on top of it, A portable tank, the basic one, is just glass and a piece of copper. So it's a good way to get lava in. So you put the aqueous accumulator there, and you can do it in quite a small area there. And yeah, and then we could potentially output one of 3 items. So we'll just put the output here like this. Yeah, and of course you want the water coming in. So for cobblestone it's actually free, but you do need to have both the lava and the water in there. So we'll remove that. Let's look at, we can make smooth stone as well. And you can see it's going to take, I think it takes about 1,000 each time. Yeah. It takes 1,000 water, lava, I'm not sure, I don't think it uses anything really. So there's that. We can also make obsidian as well, which is very, very useful. So we get a range of different things from the Igneous Extruder. It's very, very cool. And yeah, so there's that. Okay, now for some storage items. You can see I've got a few items over here. Strongbox and the machinist's workbench. Let's look at the strongbox first. You can see fairly simple tin ingots around a chest. We click here, we can see we've got basically a small chest. We can change it from public access to restricted to owner only. So I can do that and it will tell me that there. And if I shift, let's just put something in it. Let's just put some of this obsidian. I can put a lot of this stuff in there actually, because good way to clear my inventory. I don't need that either. Okay, so if I now shift and right click on it, maybe holding the crescent hammer, yeah, I've got a strongbox, hold shift for details, and we've actually got a very nice interface showing everything that is in it. So that's very cool. Place it back down, and it's got everything in it already. Very cool. Now this is the machinist workbench. Let's have a look at that. So you can see this requires a strongbox, and also a paper and crafting table. The other thing that I've got in my inventory is called schematic, and I'll explain that in a moment. And that's 2 paper and a lapis. Okay, so if we go into inventory, we can see I've just these are. It's a bit like this is a bit like factorization craft packet stuff. I think there's actually a recipe there for. So yeah, you can see this is not actually being put in there. So say we want to do this. If we press this top button, we can clear the crafting grid, so it empties everything out. You can just leave some blocks here. So if we just draw the draw that, then we can basically continue taking these out for as many times as we want. If we then use these schematics, let's put a blank schematic in there. You can see this this icon here, write schematic, changed. So we'll write the schematic. 8 times cobblestone is what's going to require. So we can clear that, and then if we put it back in, we can. This will change the set crafting grid from schematic, and we can continue taking things out like so. Clear the crafting grid. So that's cool, and then of course there's the same options on the right hand side as well. But there's no interaction in terms of between inputs and outputs and things like that. So the next item is a cyclic assembler. Look at this! I've never seen this before. That's very cool. That. We can put a blank schematic in there. I've got enough power. It takes power and it can basically make stuff. So let's try using our cobblestone. that we just used before. There we go, it instantly does that. And of course, if I wanted to, I could output it into a chest in a similar kind of fashion. I believe there's also a way to use it in here, but it doesn't seem to be working at the moment. Whether I right click or left click here, it's not accepting, and it doesn't seem to make any difference whether I've got anything in this cyclic assembler box or not. And it can also craft things from liquid as well. So if there's any recipes with it uses flux to actually craft. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It just crafts everything and then outputs it into an inventory. I would like to get this area working if I could. Oh, there we go. Okay, I think I just wasn't clicking it correctly. Let me try this again then. So I'll put a blank schematic in, and we'll try. Let's get some sticks. Say sticks. I believe. No. Does seem buggy, I have to say, because I'm not changing what I'm doing. I think maybe it's because I've got NEI there, yeah. Alright, let me try this. There we go. So then that's blank. I click the tick box, and there we go, it's written to it. So just for completionist sake, let's just get a chest. We'll just check the auto output features. We'll just output to the left hand side. Ignore all this stuff. Okay, so we've got our ladder schematic. And it's made because you need 7, don't you? So I can't use 6, so it's made as many ladders as I can. Okay, and 2 extra points I wanted to make just before moving to the next block. Just asides, shift right clicking the machinist workbench is going to do the same thing as it did to the strong box. And also another point is that the Igneous Extruder it does not require any power, so it doesn't actually need to be in this kind of lineup that I'm doing here, but it's not too much of a problem. Now the next block also doesn't require any power and is the autonomous activator. So you can see it hasn't been powered and it already seems to be doing something. And we can actually change the behavior of it. So let's what it should do is it should use an item. So let's just put in some cobblestone, see what happens. Just places it down in front. Okay, so right click, so we can choose which option we do with it. So we left click with it. Not much is going to happen because when you left click with cobblestone, nothing really happens. Possibly could do this with a sword as well. So I wonder if that will then inflict damage on what's in front of it. Let's put a cow there. There we go, you can see it does. So that's pretty interesting. And you can see we could have actually taken some damage as well. Round robin, I suppose, is going to do all the different types of things you can do. Aim level, aim high, aim low. Okay, so that's going to be quite difficult to show, I think. But I mean, perhaps the only thing I can think of is something which takes up, you know, like a slab or something of that sort. So if we took a slab and then a pickaxe, perhaps, would be quite a nice way to show that. So we put that on the. Okay, that is. Still seems to be trying to break it. Oh, I suppose because if there's nothing in it, it just counts as the hand, doesn't it? Let's just get rid of that. So I'll put a pickaxe in then. Not sneaking. So sneaking, I'm not sure what. Yeah, I suppose for that, I mean, a good thing was if I put in the machinist workbench in front, we could do right click and sneaking. You know, if this is just an you know, fairly, I suppose, fairly relevant here. So shift right click with the crescent hammer, and that should just should take it out. There's also an output slot, which is quite interesting. So, you would think though if you shift right click. Actually, maybe I didn't activate them. Let me try. It may not work with everything, or I may have done that slightly incorrectly. But let me try. We'll do aim low with the pickaxe. Okay, so with right click it doesn't work. This is on right click. So we definitely need to use left click. I don't think it's going to matter if you're sneaking or not. No, it just does it much faster. Yeah. Let's just try to get that. I would like to actually get this to work if I can. So that's not sneaking. That is sneaking. Sneaking. Right click. Aim level. First slot only. So there's a few options here as well. And there we go, it did actually break it that time. So that's pretty cool. Yes, okay. So right click sneaking is going to work as intended. Okay, and here we have another block that doesn't require any power. It's called a terrain smasher. Very useful for breaking obsidian. You see it takes it out there and then it will actually output it into this face. So yeah, any block here. Not quite sure, I can't see it. But yeah, that's what we would do. We'll simply break the block. If we look at the tooltip, we can see what's going on. And yeah, so it's a fairly we're only looking at output there. Doesn't seem to work too effectively, but I guess it is useful for certain things. And the reason I've got them set up like this is because I wanted to see if I could sort of see some sort of see if that was going to break that. Yeah. All right, so that's the terrain smasher anyway. Good. It is good for breaking blocks that take a long time to mine. Okay. Next up, we've got the nullifier. Again, it's not going to require any power. And simply put, you can only put stuff in it. It doesn't output anything, because as soon as you put anything in it, it just destroys it. Yeah, and there's nothing more to it than that. So yeah, a bit similar to the kind of void chest, and yeah, you can put liquids in there as well to remove them, should you so wish.